All right. Okay. Welcome to Cash Flow 101, guys. And we're going to learn how to make passive income and how to mine Bitcoin and how to take advantage of all that. But I want to talk about first so that you guys understand what the cash flow quadrant is. Okay. The cash flow quadrant is basically it is a, am I sharing my screen? I think I am. No, I'm not sharing my screen. So we'll share my screen. There we go. Okay, so the cash flow quadrant is, we're going to talk briefly about it so that you can know what an employee is, self-employed, business owner, and investor. And basically on this quadrant, you want to short circuit. Wait up if I can speak English, eh? To go directly from employee to investor. But I need to tell you a little bit about what these groupings are first so you understand. Okay, so an employee, the biggest difference between employee and other groups is the employees, they tend to buy doodads. Okay. And you go, well, what's a doodad? A doodad is what your bank calls an asset. So things that fit into that category would be like boats, cars, houses, snowmobiles, motorbikes. Okay. Um, Paraphernalia. This is stuff that is an expense for you, and the bank calls it an asset because they receive income. Okay. And this is what you need to do is have your assets. You need to grow your assets. You need to have assets that work for you. Okay? And that's the biggest difference between middle class and upper class other people and investors and stuff is they've got their assets working for them. So a bank calls a doodad for you an asset because they receive money and you have an expenditure of money. Okay. The other problem with this quadrant of employees and self-employed is you're trading time for dollars. Okay. So you go work for an hour, you then get paid for an hour. Okay. And this is a problem because what happens if you bonk your head and you can't work for a day? You can't work for a week, you can't work for a month. How long will it be before your expenses overtake you and you're in dire straits? Okay. So if you work for an hour and you get paid for that hour, if you don't work, you don't get paid. People tend to transition into self-employed for the following reasons because they get better taxes, rebates, and higher income. Here in this employee section, you pay the highest taxes and you make the least income, by the way. But in self-employed, people tend to migrate there because let's say you're a painter contractor and you decide, well, I can do it better, or I can charge my clients better, or I can get paid more. And so people tend to migrate into that category. This is the tradespeople, like painters, contractors, plumbers. Okay. But also in this group are highly educated people like dentists and lawyers and accountants. And these people own a small business, but again, if you are not, if you don't work a day, you still don't get paid. Okay, so write in the chat, who would like to make some passive income? Who would like to be able to grow their passive income so that they can have their expenses, have their bills paid? In this group here, under business owners, a big business, this is a formula, okay, or it's a business system. Also in this group are things like franchises. It's a business system. But business systems like that, like it costs $1 million to buy a McDonald's franchise. Okay. It's big bucks. Most people don't have that kind of money to dump into to get a business system working for them. Other people that fit in this category are you have to buy and you become a board of the directors, okay, and you get remuneration from that. Other people that fit into this category are like word of mouth businesses, and that is a useful system because it's a small startup fee often. Okay, but the concept behind big business is you've got the efforts of, like, for example, 100 people, 1% of their efforts, and it generates income for you. Okay, under investor group, this is where we want to go. So we want to shortcut all of this and go directly to investor. So right in the chat, who would like to go directly to investor right now? Okay. Let me tell you how to do that. But let me explain just a couple of things first. So we're talking about passive income. Okay. What you do from 9 to 5 is paying for your life. Okay. But what you do from 5 till 9 at night is what pays for your future. And that's what we're talking about, is getting stuff going on the side that makes you money. Okay. And I'm going to explain all of this right now today so that you guys have a clear understanding. But to get out of the rat race, you need to have your passive income greater than your expenses. We talked just a second ago, what happens if you have a head injury? What happens if, how long can you not work before you are in deep trouble? Can you not work for a day? Can you not work for 3 months? Can you not work for 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years? How long will it be before your bills overtake you? You need to have something passive coming in so that your bills are paid. Okay, that's the short of it. So let's talk about another problem going on right now in our lives, past 100 years or so. Well, more than that is the cost inflation. So every year the inflation goes up by 3.5%. Okay, this is one problem. The other problem is your ability to buy stuff goes down as a result of inflation and as a result of the power, the purchasing power of the dollar. Okay, and so this chart here over the past 100 years, okay, this is very significant. Where do you think this chart is going to continue going over the next 100 years? Okay, and if you want to know, simply go look at Argentina's economy, go look at Venezuela's economy, go look at, you can have an example of Germany's economy in the 20s, and you'll see that in 20 years, their chart did the exact same thing. And this, for the rest of us, this is a strong dollar. It's doing the exact same thing. Where do you think it's going to go? Okay, right in the chat. We know exactly what the writing on the wall says. Okay, so what happens is you need to have a way to be able to store your wealth, to combat against inflation, so that you can have something of value 10 years down the road, 100 years down the road, 200 years down the road. Okay, something for you, your kids, your descendants. And if we don't, there is no possible way that you can overwork inflation. What I mean is you put it in let's say you made $100. Okay, you made $100 100 years ago. Well, it had good value to you. You make $100 today, you're not able to do with it as you need, and so its purchasing power goes down. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit more about that purchasing power, so I can explain it to you a little bit better. So this is a Corvette that my friend bought in 1974, and cost him $6,000. Okay, so it's a high quality vehicle at the time, for what it's got going for it. If you were to buy that same vehicle, it'd be $69,000. Now, the workmanship, has it improved that much? The bells and whistles, has it improved that much? Okay, well, what's going on here is the purchasing power of the dollar is going down so much. That's why the price of the vehicle has gone up so high. And I'll show you why that's true. For example, you buy gold, 34 ounces of gold would have cost you to buy this vehicle 50 years ago. Today, again, 25 ounces of gold. So the gold price is equivalent to the worth value of the commodity that you purchased. It's not that the gold price has gone up, it's that the dollar is going down. Our currency, our fiat currency, which isn't tied to anything, is going down so much. The problem with fiat currency is governments can print it more anytime they want. Again, look at Venezuela, look at Germany in the 20s, look at Argentina. They just print more money, print more money, print more money. Well, by printing more money, it makes it so that it's an influx of money into the system, and the worth of it, the value of it goes down. Okay, so you have to control for that. Here's how you can control for that. Okay, Bitcoin is the best asset anywhere to have, to own, to buy, to mine. Okay, why is Bitcoin the best asset anywhere? Is because there are so many features with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, for example, let me go into that in a second here. Look at all of these companies and companies that are acquiring Bitcoin. Why is it that they're acquiring Bitcoin in hordes? Okay. Countries that are acquiring Bitcoin. Why is it that they're acquiring Bitcoin? Is because they understand where Bitcoin is going. They understand that Bitcoin is the best asset that we've ever had anywhere. And in the past, for an example, the past 11 years, it was the top performing asset of any asset class. Pick any asset class, doesn't matter. Gold is a really good asset class. Like, I would encourage you to buy gold all the time because it's a good way to store your wealth. Okay. But a better way to store your wealth is with Bitcoin. So what makes Bitcoin different than everything else? First of all, you can't destroy it. There's only a certain amount of it. And so it makes it a scarcity, a resource that's scarce. And you can't destroy it and you can't copy it because that's not how it works. You can't just take a copy and send it. You have to, every computer on the network has to agree that that copy went from here to there, that piece of Bitcoin exists. Okay. Other things about that are going for Bitcoin is the price of it is going up. There's lots of experts in the field, like Cathie Woods, Robert Kiyosaki. There's lots of people out there that talk about the price of Bitcoin going up, and so its value is going up. Let's compare the price of Bitcoin over the past 8 to 10 years. Okay, when Bitcoin started out, it was a very low price, and it goes ups and downs, and that's okay. This is great to trade when you're looking at and people that look at charts and know how to trade. They'll trade high and sell high and then buy low. Okay. And this is great for making quick money on the spot, but we're not talking about trading here because most people aren't capable of doing that. And so there's no point going into it. But my point is, over the long run, the price is going up. Yes, it does go down, have valleys. It does. And that's okay. The price on the long run is going up. And why is it going up? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. Is because of the scarcity. We already talked about this a little bit with regards to dollars. That the more you print, it just becomes a priceless commodity. So this is what one of the things that makes Bitcoin really powerful, really useful, is that its scarcity is going down. And what I mean is every 4 years, the ability to create it diminishes by half. This is why it's called the halving. And so every 4 years, your ability to create it becomes harder than the 4 years before that. And also the demand for it is going up. And so this is one of the things that makes Bitcoin really powerful, the best asset ever, is because it's just a piece of intellectual property. You can hold on to a piece here and you can move it over there to bill, or you can move it over, and the ability to move it is so much. Like if you had gold and you have a stack of gold, you have to walk it over to your friend. Here's the gold. I'm gonna transfer a little bit of wealth to you. Well, that becomes very difficult to do, especially over long distances. Whereas with Bitcoin, you can transfer any amount anywhere that you want. Okay. So here are a couple other things that are useful about Bitcoin. How do you acquire Bitcoin? There's a couple of ways to acquire Bitcoin. One is you can purchase it, and I encourage you to do so a little bit every day. Convert your worthless fiat currency into something worthwhile, something that's retaining its value. Second way is to do goods and services and get paid in the currency. Okay. And the third way, which is also the best way, is to mine it. So who would like to mine Bitcoin? Because this is the best way to acquire Bitcoin is by mining it. That's what we're here to talk about, is how to mine Bitcoin. Okay. So this is a mining machine. Mining machine, what it does is it detects movement on the network. So this is a graphical interface of what is going on the network right now. So somebody just sent Bitcoin from X place to Y place, this block here. They sent $3.31 million worth of Bitcoin from here to there. With that transfer, there's a gas fee. Okay. The gas fee in this particular example was 677 sats. Wow, that's really cheap today. And so what happens is the computer, the mining machine, it detects the movement on the network and it grabs this movement and it has to run a mathematical computation. And so it goes through a mathematical computation to arrive at a conclusion and then posts on the network that, yes, this Bitcoin was moved from here to there. Okay. And so the first computer that posts that piece of information, they win. the fee. So right there, this fee was 852 cents. So that computer that then did the work, it's called proof of work, got the fee for that transaction. And in that process, this block is revealed. Okay. And so this is a really important point. Only this computer, the one that did the processing of that fee, that's the computer that won the reward and is the only computer that can withdraw it from the mining pool. Okay. This is really important because he put it there. He's the one that can take it out. Okay. Also, every 10 minutes, what happens in this process is as these blocks are revealed, it reveals this entire block, and that entire block process creates new Bitcoin. Every 4 years, like I said, half as much Bitcoin is created. And all of this Bitcoin, all the new Bitcoin, all the fees, everything is dumped into the mining pool. And that's how Bitcoin is created. Okay. That's how Bitcoin is mined. So we want to take advantage of mining Bitcoin because what happens is this computer here, until we got involved, it would just simply go full speed ahead, high electricity, and just any random movement in the network, it would grab it and start working on it. Okay. This is a problem. And I'll explain why it's a problem. Because the high electricity costs, also the amount of you have to update the hardware on these devices very frequently because they run out of date. And this is a couple of problems. So this is how we got involved. Okay. So the name of the company is called BitHarvest. And what I'm going to talk about is how we make the mining process more efficient. Okay. This is just a USB device that plugs into the network, connects to the mining farms via VPN, and it does work. So the way it works is those detection on the network. What it does is it becomes the brains behind the operation, and it detects what work needs to get done. And so it goes through and processes these jobs that need to get done. The easiest jobs, it sends those first to the mining machine. Get these done first because it's really easy. And then it'll give the harder job, the next harder job, the next hardest job. And so what it's doing is it makes this mining process more efficient because now the machine can simply do the work that's being presented to it. Some of the process is in mining, if a mining machine picks up a job and it's already been posted, well, that becomes a confirmation, another confirmation, another confirmation. The problem with these confirmations is only the first computer that processed it actually makes the money. All of these ones did this work for nothing. Yes, they're confirmations, but they didn't get paid for it. And this is another reason why this booster makes it more efficient is because the work that hasn't been picked up, it sends that to the miner. Go do this one, go do this one, go do this one, go get it done. And it simply disregards these ones because they don't need to be processed because they've already been processed. They just simply need confirmations. And so this is a couple of reasons how it makes it more efficient for the mining. So here's some things that you need to know about the mining process. So the miners, they make their Bitcoin every year. Like you buy a mining rig, costs about $10,000. Okay. And they make $5 a day, approximately. Okay. Well, they make their Bitcoin. When we get involved, they sign a contract with us. And so we've got a contract with them, and we are now on top of that. So we give them the jobs to do, and this makes it more efficient. So any Bitcoin that they make on top of what they were making before, in addition to, we then share this portion as profit. Okay. So 60% of that additional Bitcoin that is created as a result of us working with them, 60% goes back to the mining companies. So they have no additional cost, no additional electricity cost. In fact, it reuses electricity. They have no additional hardware costs. All of these are reasons why they go, yeah, I'll take that on. Like, come, yeah, if you guys produce us more additional Bitcoin than what we were producing before, great. So 60% goes back to the mining farms, to the mining companies that we are working with. 35% goes to us, the booster owners. And so we have a one-time cost to buy a booster, And now we receive the remuneration from then on. Okay. 35% of the Bitcoin that's created, and 5% goes to the company. Okay. So the company has to keep the lights on, and they've got the IT team that's working for them, and the accounting team, and they've got everything going so that we can have the Bitcoin that we are earning every day. So in the past 6 months, they've created 100 Bitcoins in this process. So in this example of the 100 Bitcoins, 60 went to the mining companies that we've gone to contract with. 3 of them, by the way. One of them is in Texas. One of them is in Ethiopia. And I don't know where the third one is. But 60 of the Bitcoins that were created, additional Bitcoins that on top of, went back to them. 35 go to us, the booster owners, and 5 go to the parent company. Okay. So let's compare owning a business, okay, compared to buying boosters, owning a business. You're still owning a business. Regular mom and pop shop business. Okay. Who would like to be in business for themselves? Who has been in business for themselves? I've been in business for myself for a very long time. Okay. So let's say you buy a mom and pop shop business for $50,000. You have to buy product, you have to keep the lights on, you have to have employees and deal with their drama. And so you got monthly costs that occur even before you start making money. So not only do you have an output of money, $50,000 in this example, but you also have monthly costs that makes it so that you've got monthly costs that keep on occurring, whether or not you actually make money. Okay. So monthly estimated income, let's call it $1,000. Yearly income, $12,000. So let's compare that to buying boosters. So if you buy 50 boosters, same cost, $50,000. Now, buying a booster, it's a one-time fee. You don't have any monthly membership fees on top of that. You don't have to deal with employees. You don't have to deal with any of that crap. You just buy a booster or 50 boosters in this example, and they start working for you. Okay. Your daily income, approximately $200. Your monthly estimated is $6,000, and your yearly is $72,000 a year. Who would like to make $72,000 a year? Right in the chat. Who there's a break-even point for you. What is that break-even point for you? Is it 50 cents makes a difference to you? Is $50 make a difference to you? Would $500 a day make a difference to you? What is the break-even point? Where are you financially stable? You know your finances, you know where you're at. Where would it make a difference for you to have passive income coming in? Let's compare to real estate. So for me, I would have to have 5 buildings like this to make passive income. Okay. So one property, $100,000. But here's the problem with, using this example as one property, you've got to fix it up. So that's some additional costs. You got to advertise. Now, let's say that the market, you have no control over the market, none whatsoever. So it may not sell for a while. You've got to hold on to that. It's now costing you money every month. Okay. Costing you money. So maybe you get some tenants in instead. And you got to deal with their 3 o'clock in the morning phone calls. Okay. So this is one property, cost you $100,000, monthly estimated, making $500 off of that. I would need to have 5 of those at least to make, some passive income. Okay. Yearly income, $6,000. So let's compare that again to boosters. One-time cost. You don't have any monthly cost. You don't have any other membership fees. You just bought the booster and now it works for you for the rest of time. So 100 boosters would cost $100,000. Your daily estimated about $400. Your monthly estimated about $12,000, and your yearly estimated $144,000. Who would like to make $144,000 a year? Put that in the chat. I know I sure would. And that's what I'm doing is I'm growing my account by compounding it till it gets to that point. So let's compare if you have one Bitcoin, and right now Bitcoin is $72,000, $73,000, I think it was today. But let's just call it $70,000. So let's say you take your one Bitcoin and you buy 70 boosters. Again, one-time fee. You never have to have any other output of money again. those 70 boosters produce for you about 1.823 Bitcoins a year. So next year, you would still have 70 boosters and it would produce another 1.823 Bitcoins a year. The year after that, you still have 70 boosters working for you because this is an asset that works. It just simply, it's running and it's generating income for you. And another year of 1.823 boosters. Who would like to make 1.823 Bitcoins a year forever? Let's just call it that. And the reason why I say forever is because you get a 5-year warranty on the unit. Okay. So if something happens to it within the first 5 years, it's covered under warranty. That's part of the warranty. And you probably won't even know that there was a problem. They'll just go and swap it out and away you go. Here's the thing is, there's no moving parts. It's just a USB device. You're not unplugging it, plugging in. You're not doing any of that either. So there's no moving parts on this device. I've got USB devices, USB that I've had for many, many years, 20 years, let's call it, that are still working perfectly fine because it's solid state. It has no moving parts. And so the probability of it wearing out over a very short time is very low. Okay. And if it does within 5 years, then it's replaced. So I get paid in Bitcoin every day. Okay. We talked about what's your break-even point. What makes a difference in your life? Okay. Write in the chat. Who would like to make, I don't know, $1,000 a day in Bitcoin? Who would like to make 50 cents a day? Who would like to make $30 a day? At what point in time, what is the break-even point for you? Where does that make a difference in your life? The other aspect you need to think about here is some people, they started off, one lady walked into the office a couple of weeks back, bought 1,000 boosters. She makes 3,000 to 5,000 Bitcoin a day. That's a lot of money. She bought 1,000 boosters. But then 2 weeks later, she walks back into this office, buys another 1,000 boosters. Okay. So this person understood about assets working for you. Other people bought 100 boosters. That's where they were. They're making $300 to $500 a day. Okay. Well, in my case, I had to start at 1 share. That's just where I was when I started out. It's just the way it is. And so it was producing between 30 to 50 cents a day. But it's passive income. Like, yeah, it's making passive income. I'm all over that. It was a one-time fee and it generates forever. Okay. Well, I'm growing my account. So now I've got up to almost 4 boosters now. Okay. So this is a wonderful passive income. Who would like to have passive income where they don't have to go hassle their friends? They don't have to go, they just have an asset that's working for them. And on top of that, you've got, if you need to have a pay raise, you just simply increase your funds, you increase the number of boosters that you have. Like I said, I'm growing my account. Who would like to have 100 boosters? Pays you $400 a day. I say, yeah, I'm all over that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the business. Okay, so business is based in Kuala Lumpur. That's where the head office is, and anybody can go visit the head office anytime they want. It's not a problem. Go over. The head office is listed on the webpage. It's listed in Google it. Their office is there. Okay. In fact, this is how we became in contact with this company. Is my friend was sitting in his hotel in Kuala Lumpur having lunch. He looks across the street and he sees BitHarvest on the door. He's like, "What is that? That's pretty cool." And so he walks in the door, just walks in the door and says, "Hey, what do you guys do?" And so they tell him all about it. And this is why we're involved, is because he goes, "Walter, you got to have a look at this. This is so cool." And I'm, technical background. I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, let's have a look." Okay, so here is the server room. There is, in this little tray here, there are 20 boosters in one little tray. Okay, and so each booster has its own serial number, and it's basically an IMEI because it's connected to the network, and it runs. Okay, so you have to have permission to come into the server room, but you don't have, just if you want to set an appointment, yeah, they'll wine and dine you, and you can have, they'll pay for your hotel. But if you don't set an appointment and just walk in the door, no big deal. It's great. Okay, so this is then let me share a little video about how they my friend, when he was in Kuala Lumpur, it was he got an interview and walked into the server room, and he just turn off the volume. And what's going to happen in this video is she's going to show the little tray of the videos. Okay, so we're just going to fast forward a little bit to there. Okay, so she's pulling out the tray, and you can see all the boosters there. Okay, it's just, this is how, the reason why they don't ship these out is because most people do not have the internet connection to be able to handle this kind of speed. Most people do not have the USB ports sufficient to cover the number of boosters that they want to have. Okay, I don't. And also, if they ship it out, they would tend have a possibility of someone taking it, retroactively configuring it, and now we've got a competitor using our own technology, so that's no good. Okay, and the last thing is there's no shipping costs, so anybody in the world can buy this thing. So this is what we're going to look at here. Is at the top of the chart, it shows that it's live. Okay, so she hasn't pulled it out yet. He's got active 5.3 boosters on this account, and what she's going to do is she's going to pull out the booster, and then we'll see on his account that it then flips to inactive. Okay, so we've got it flipped to inactive. There's 4.1 there now. And down here at the bottom, you'll see it says inactive as well. We'll show that in a couple of seconds. So down here, we'll just go to the next page. And then you'll see an X under line number 17, and because it'll show that it's inactive at that point. So there's line number 17. And this is the IMEI that's on that device that he owns, that right there, that same IMEI. Okay. Every single device has its own number. And so what happens is she will then put it back in, and then he will then refresh his screen, and on the top of the screen, line number 17, it's all refreshed, and at the top, it's now active again. Okay, so this is really cool because this interacts with us, our apps, at the same time as interacting with the mining rigs that are going on. Okay, so this is really cool. All right, so I'm gonna continue talking about the company right now, and there's some really cool things about the company. Number one, it's got we have applied for and received the MSB license. What this is very, very important. Okay, you guys can scan this QR code here. Okay, the registration number is 3100027026059 This is really important stuff. This is a US agency. It's called FinCEN. And what they had to do, they had to provide financial acumen to this company. So basically, they had to look at the books just a little bit to make sure that they're in the up and up. Okay. And it approves that our company, BitHarvest, to provide financial services. Okay. And so this is really, really important stuff, because this validates that because they had to do an own little audit. Speaking of little audits, right now we are going through the process of preparing to be listed on NASDAQ. Okay. To be listed on NASDAQ. You want me to pull up Google and say, hey, what are the requirements to go list on NASDAQ? They have to do a massive audit. Okay. This is financial stuff that's involved, and they look at the books and they delve down deep, make sure that the company's doing exactly what they say they're doing, producing exactly what they say they're producing to get listed on NASDAQ. This is where we are. This is what kind of company this is. And I'm very impressed and happy with this company. Okay. We just, here is the CEO. This is Logan Lee. What happened here is Logan Lee happened to have a mining farm that he wanted to improve it. How does it improve? And he gets involved with Lenny. Lenny was involved with Ethereum that when it was created. Okay. And between the two of them, Logan Lee financed it, and Lenny was the brains, and they formed the company BitHarvest back near the beginning of the year. And they came live in March. And so there are only 500,000 boosters being sold. That's how many were created. And they're being sold to us. And this allows us to acquire Bitcoin as a result. These guys are real people. They have had 4 interviews that I know of on Binance. Binance just doesn't interview schmucks. They interview real people because they've got a business to hold as well. Okay. In recognition, in the expo in May, we won the award from our colleagues. Like, if this was not a real company, they don't give awards to fake companies. Okay, this is really, really cool stuff. Okay, here's a couple other, there's been lots of events all over the world. There still are events all over the world. Where can you buy a booster? You can buy them anywhere in the world. Okay, because they're not shipped out. They're housed at Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and the booster just simply runs. And so we are able to take these simply buy something over the internet and it works. And that's super great. All right. A couple other things. We can have people all the time over at the office, lots of different people. Okay. There are some events that have been going on and we can go and head up those events. In fact, at one of these events is when we picked up our second contract with the company, with the mining company. Is they're on the floor talking away and they kick the tires. You know what? We really like it. And so that's where we picked up our second one. Here's the timeline of what's going on. Okay. So phase 1 is, again, there's only 500,000 boosters for sale. And when that is done, we're going to go into phase 3, which is the coin will become, it'll be listed, and the mining machines will not only mine Bitcoin, but will mine BTH. BTH will be a coin that'll be traded out in the regular market at that point. So it's another source of income, and it'll be on its own blockchain as well. Okay, so let's. I think that's basically the end of the call. So there is a way that you can make money from the machine. Like, if you have a friend that wants to buy a machine, a client that wants to buy the machine from you, yeah, you can make some one-time commissions off of that. It's called a referral fee, and you make that. Now, here's the really important, cool point: is everything I've talked about so far has been passive income. You don't have to talk to anyone. You don't. Your machines work for you. I'm concerned about what my machine's doing. I'm concerned about what my machines generate passive income for me. Well, all of those machines make Bitcoin. Okay. If you choose to talk to someone, that's okay. You don't have to, but if you choose to, those machines also get counted on your machines. And so you're now making a little bit of Bitcoin off of their machines as well. And that's a really cool part. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing at this point. And if there are any people that would like to ask some questions or give some testimonies, let me pull up the chat and see what's going on with that. Anybody would like to comment about what their experience with BitHarvest? Willing to talk, or if you guys prefer that I ask this question off camera, that's okay. We can do that too. All right. No questions. Sounds good. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Any questions in the chat? Yeah, I'd love $400 a day as well. Okay. Guess I imparted as much knowledge as I possibly could to you guys. So let's power off the live stream at this point. And we'll go on with the training part of our session. Okay, just give me a second here. Power that off. Go talk to the individual that gave you this video. They care about you. They want you to have a good experience, just like they're having a good experience. Go talk to them. Go create your ID and get your account going. I would encourage you also to buy a booster. Look at your situation and determine what you can do and take action. If you don't take action, you're actually really losing money every day because the power of the money that you're in the currency that you have is going down. And so every day you are losing the ability to buy stuff. Okay. You're losing the ability to pay for stuff. Go take action. Because if you take action, you now have a way to make money. You now have a way to circumvent the lowering price of the dollar, and you now have an ability to make money. You now have an ability to get out of the rat race. Your friend cares about you. That's why he gave you this video. Go talk to him. Have a great day. Have a good experience, just like the rest of us. Make some withdrawals and have a good experience. Talk to you in a bit.